Good evening. My name is Nigeria Chambers. I'm from Big Gold Belt Media. Sasha and Alexis, thank you so much for the time today. Very excited to talk about your new film, Latency, coming to theaters June 14th. How are you two doing today?
Doing great. Thank you so much.
You're amazing.
Listen, you two, and I was going to kind of end the interview with this. You two are completely like beyond talented.
Thank
Always
you.
involved with so many different projects, and the fact that for whatever reason, and however reason, you two had the schedules cleared in order to shoot a film together. I want to start there. Just your excitement because the film doesn't work without you two. And beyond just you two's presence, building that camaraderie, this friendship on screen, the film doesn't succeed without it. So, considering all the things you've been a part of, all the things you've been working on, probably currently working on, the fact that you two both had the schedule and availability to do this, talk to me about the excitement about being a part of the film and how did you two work on that camaraderie, that friendship that we see on screen?
Um, in my case, I just got extremely lucky. And I met Alexis. I remember the first day. We were there for our fittings and we just sat down, waiting for them to finish some touches. We started talking and I was like, I love this girl. And, we were talking about life and then we obviously, started talking about her characters and the depth and her understanding and just ideas and fact it's like everything, and you're extremely lucky because you never know how it's going to turn out. We're all humans, and when you have a chance to work with someone with Alexis, you're incredibly blessed as an actor and as a human, because as an actor it just makes your job so much easier, and as a human just because you're really having a great time, which also makes your life easier and makes your performance better.
I'll cry for you, Alexis, if that's
I
okay.
know. He's sucker punched. Yeah, no, I mean, I was obviously a fan of Sasha, so I was like nervous, excited. I had all the emotions. I remember seeing her at the airport lounge before we even got to our connectings, and I was like, I was like really excited, kind of dweebing out for a second. And then obviously I was just such a big fan of her last movie, Anna, and it just was such an incredible film. I was just like, okay, like don't get your expectations too high, but I don't know. And then it ended up being incredible. She's a true professional. I mean, this girl will do what it takes to get the shot, which is so respectful. And I mean, I've seen this girl literally eat worms for a shot. I was like, wow.
Oh my God. Oh yes.
Yeah. She didn't even, she was like, do you want me to eat them? I was like, you're asking them because they weren't going to let her do that. So that was really incredible to see her work ethic. Obviously getting to know her was incredible. And just the energy, it felt really authentic. I think that's what's so cool when you meet castmates and you have an honest connection, is you can just bring that forward in the acting as opposed to trying to either project someone else onto them or um, I guess per se fake it. So it was a
Yeah.
very honest. Like I still remember there's this one scene where we have this beautiful heart to heart, and I was near tears, yes, from being in the character and being in the scene, but just like our energies together synced up in such an organic way. And we didn't have any type of like chemistry test or anything meeting prior to this. So it felt, I was just proud of us. And then I was so excited for James, the director, because I was like, you guys nailed this. Like this chemistry
Yeah.
is an incredible thing to have here.
And I think
That's
that Jen, oh my God, I keep calling you Jen.
Oh, you
Alexis brings Jen to life in the most beautiful way because you are kind and funny and loving and giving, and that's all that Jen is, and sarcastic and like, and that's why it's also so much easier, to make it real because it is real. Because Alexis and Jen, they were absolutely. It's just there's so many traits of personalities that you share together.
I'm going to circle back to that in a second. I should have brought my tissues. I was very excited for this interview. I didn't know I was going to just be sitting in so much love and just such positive energy right now. I love this. This is amazing. Um, yeah, you two, as I said, multi-hyphenate. You all have just really dabbled into so many different artistries in the world, and I could imagine with so much respect for one another. And just kind of thinking forward here, have y'all talked about working on anything beyond this together?
Not yet, but I hope we will be lucky to get. But you know what? The movie's not out yet, so people didn't see how fantastic we're together. So it's yet to come.
And but they're gonna be like me, and they're gonna be like, okay, now we'll get back to work. We want to see more of y'all two together on screen. But yeah, talking about the friendship of Jen and Hannah, as I mentioned, it really doesn't work without these very transparent now as we see relationships between the two of you, your friendships on screen. But for the viewers, when they do get to check this out June 14th in theaters, talk about the friendship, the relationship, and ultimately how can others relate to the chemistry that y'all have on screen. And we'll start off with you, Alexis.
Oh, okay. Sorry, repeat the question. My dog was just barking.
Oh,
I
no
was like,
worries, no worries. And listen,
yeah.
we encourage all pup talk on here. You should have not have muted that. No, but I think it's very important that we understand Jen and Hannah's relationship, and beyond that, how can us as the viewers, what are some things we can like look forward to in terms of relating to that friendship?
Yeah, I think I always want to bring it back to real life because what's happening in this movie is kind of a more intense version, not even more intense, but an intense version of what's happening in real life. So for me, I would just, the audience coming out of it just saying, okay, do I need to check on my friends more? Because we feel very connected right now. We're able to see what everyone's doing, where everyone is. And yet there's not that grounded, real intimacy anymore. So I think just the relationship between Jen and Hannah is truly Jen making sure that Hannah still has that authentic connection in her life. And she doesn't just like lose herself in the internet, which is kind of what's happening in real life.
Yeah.
I think we're just in need of really good friends. And I'm hoping that also people can look at Jen specifically as a good example of what it means to be a friend. Me and my best friend, we have this term called LAX friends, where it's like, yeah, I'll get you at LAX. Because like a good friend is doing the inconvenient things, the not fun things. And like Jen would
Ah.
man his trash and like do all these, kind of ridiculous things that, maybe is a little too much or whatever. But Jen loves Hannah so much that it doesn't matter, and she knows what she needs. So I think that's what hopefully I would take away from it.
Go for Sasha. Anything you want to add to that, or should we go to the next question?
I think that I mean I agree with everything that Alexis just said, but I also think that I feel like we don't have enough trust in this world, like when you know that you can truly trust someone with your life, your fears, your secrets, with your flaws, that you're not ashamed of being yourself, because we're constantly being given this perfect picture of things, and making sure that you can truly be yourself with someone is so important. And I think that's the basis of friendship, that I love you no matter who you are, what you are, and where you are. And well, Hannah is very extremely lucky to have a friend like Jen. And I know I have my best friend who I love to death, and she was with me when we were filming Latency. And just the fact that she was there made me feel so much better, because I knew that I had someone who loves me, who will be there for me, who will hold my hand. And love comes in different shapes and forms, but I feel like friendship is probably the purest,
Mm.
one of the purest. Like their parents, mother child love, people can probably argue with me, but my friends are my family. So
In this opportunity to talk about the film, very excited for. I really wish we can have just another section to really dissect the mental health aspect of this film, which is nothing the 10-minute conversation can hold. And both of you to use your platforms to always bring awareness to that, which is why, like, I don't know if it happens where it happens, but I would love to see you two really tap into that a little bit more, because there's a lot of things within this film that I think people may overlook. But for my final question, I really want to talk about, you two are fashion icons. How could I not address the outfit choices, the fashion and stuff, and that's happening in this film? Now, while it may not be, the top of the things you've ever done, but I'm sure you had input into it. Can you talk about some of the little things within the fashion choices and the clothing in this film that you all were able to provide some input into, or you thought would actually be like true to these characters? What were some of the input that you two had?
um well, in my case, Hannah, she stays at home, she needs comfy stuff, she loves all the actual like like 80s, 90s, like iconic characters. So I was like, okay, how we do it? James, because he's also a huge fan, he was choosing certain things. But for me, it was actually cool because Hannah is not a fashion girl. She's a cool girl. She loves her like hoodies and baggy jeans, but for her, she's just like comfort and something quirky. And it was so relaxing to actually be on set and not like be that kind of person, because through my years of modeling you don't really get a chance to be that. So for me, I loved it. And like dark, and that's actually, there is a moment where Jan kind of leaves part of her with Hannah, and we see this merge between like Hannah and Jan, and we kind of hope that, oh, maybe now Hannah is going to really change, because Jan and Alex will talk about is much more colorful and exciting than Hannah.
Yeah. No, I definitely echo that. And for me, well, James, when he originally came to me, he was like, "Do you mind?" I forgot what it's called, but it's where you shave half your head.
Yes.
And I was like, ah.
Such your beautiful hair.
I was like, that's gonna take like 10, 20 years. I'm sorry, James. I can't do it. Like, just throw some green in my hair. So I was like, I was like, I'm not gonna do that. But so we ended up compromising and we did like green streaks and stuff. But I want to echo so much with what Sasha said. Like, it's been so nice to, this is gonna sound stupid, but it's been really, it was really nice to not play the pretty girl archetype. It was really,
Liberating.
yeah.
Absolutely.
We're like so liberal. It was just like, oh my God, I felt like a new person. No, it was really nice because there was also, I think we tend to identify with things that, you know, society tells us that are of value to society, right? Like our whole lives, it's like, you're pretty, you're pretty. And it's like, okay, that's our value. So it was really nice to almost have that moment of letting go of like, I actually don't, I'm not thinking what I look like. I don't really care what I look like. And just thinking in that method way of just like, I'm Jen right now. Like she doesn't give a, you know, she doesn't care. And it was liberating. It was really liberating. And I think it's also really special for me and Sasha to be able to show the world that we can
Yeah.
do many different archetypes because there's so much nuance in human.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You two are amazing, truly. I
Oh,
truly
thank
mean
you.
that. No bias alone. Very beautiful souls and an amazing performance here. And folks, you can check out Latency coming to theaters June 14th. Alexis and Sasha, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully we get to talk to you very soon because I know y'all going to get back to work on something.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Take care.
Luss.